The reproduction of this content is not allowed without the express written consent of EBH Fitness LLC.
Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Serelda. I am back to talk a little bit about being married to my purpose. Now, look, I was went in the grocery store and found, guess what? An article in a magazine, and the entire Time magazine is talking about the science of marriage. Okay, so I was stoked because this is all I want to talk about these days, of finding out things around purpose, finding out things around marriage. And so, as I'm looking into the table of contents of this magazine, I saw a few things that stood out to me. Some of the topics that they're talking about in here, number one, of course, is love and romance. The other one is a sacred bond, having a sacred bond. And then the last part talks about happily ever after. So if you take those three concepts, if you take those three themes, they can apply to your own purpose, right? Love and romance. Guess what? Sometimes we have to wine and dine ourselves. And for the most part, we love ourselves, right? We buy things for ourselves, we pamper ourselves, but sometimes we get away from that. Sometimes we get away from loving ourselves, from whining and dining ourselves, and we have to get back to that. How does this all apply to purpose? Because we have to feed ourselves first, right? And then they talked a little bit about the sacred bond, just making sure we understand the 9 signs, for example, your marriage, that your marriage will last. Those are important things, understanding the signs. Even in a regular marriage, it's the same thing in our own lives with our purpose. We have to make sure that those signs and those red flags that may pop up when we're lazy and we're not doing anything according to our purpose, we're sitting at home, we're binge watching. I know many of you are guilty, like I am, binge watching things in our home, but we have to be mindful of the time that we spend. And we have to look for those signs when we get lazy, when we slow down, when we procrastinate. We have to understand that's time that we could be using to focus and grow our purpose. And then what about happily ever after? Happily ever after for whom? Are we talking about couples? Are we talking about our purpose? Are we talking about ourselves? Yeah, being married to our purpose, we want to live happily ever after in our purpose, just as in a marriage. We don't want to be in a marriage that's stagnated. We don't want to be in a marriage that's toxic. We don't want to be in a marriage that continues to be an antagonistic environment, do we? Well, why would we want that for our own purpose? Think about it. Why would we want to be in a marriage, whether it's married to our purpose, married to a partner, married to building a company, married to building wealth? We don't want to be unhappy. We want to have fun in it. We want to be adventurous in it. It's the same thing for our purpose. So, as I started off today, I said I had to make sure I showed you all this magazine to talk about the science of marriage, all about attraction, what keeps love and purpose strong, and then making the union last. We want to make married to our purpose last in our lives. Now, first, what we need to do, I'll give you a few tips tonight. I won't go over all of them, but a few of them. The first one is self-reflection. Taking the time to reflect on your values, your passions, and what brings you joy. And in order for you to do that, you've got to consider your strengths. You've got to consider your skills and activities that make you lose track of time. I absolutely love that. What are those activities other than binge watching? What are those activities that make you lose track of time? I have a good friend. who helps me with podcasts and helps me create my events. And I can imagine he loses track of time when he's dealing with technology and playing around with graphics. Yeah, we lose track of time when we are focused on something that we think is absolutely important. So we have to go into a self reflection mode and understand that we cannot forego that step. What about the second one? Defining your purpose, right? Clearly articulating what you want to do in a concise way and identifying the broader impact or contribution you want to make to society. Guess what? There are over 8 billion people in this world, and everybody is not covered. What do I mean when I say everybody is not covered? What I'm saying is there are people out there that need your purpose to work in their lives so that they can learn and discover their own purpose. You have to make sure that when you're waking up in the morning, you are doing exactly what you feel you have been called to do. How does it contribute to society? How does it contribute to society? How does it? Is your purpose just serving you? If it is, it's probably not your purpose. And then what about the third one? Setting meaningful goals. There are some goals that I've set in being married to my purpose, being a mom, having been a wife, being a sister, being an aunt, being a coach, being an author, being a speaker. All of those things feed into the goals that I want to accomplish and achieve along my journey of being married to my purpose. I have to understand that I've got to break down those things in achievable, specific goals. Take, for example, I am now conducting a book collaboration on being married to my purpose. Why am I doing that? Well, one day I was telling somebody about this goal and about being married to my purpose, and that God had given me this revelation about replacing the time in my life as I move into a new season and be married to my purpose. Build out what He has called me to do, right? And so, in order for me to do that, I had to look at some goals that I needed to set and ensure that those goals were actually aligned with the core elements of being married to my purpose, the actual platform. Not only am I going into a book collaboration, but I'm also hosting my first national conference in August of 2024. It has been an amazing journey so far. And hopefully, if you're listening to this, you go out and you check out the link or you Google it and you register. I would love to see you in El Paso, Texas, August 2nd through the 4th, 2024, to have a good time, to discover, to network, to laugh, to possibly cry, to purge, to release, and even to be refreshed as you learn about being married to your purpose, right? What about creating a plan? How many times have you heard someone say, you know what, I've been writing this book, and we're all excited because somebody's writing a book? Now, guess what? I don't get excited about people writing a book or working on writing a book. I'm excited about reading it. We can't read what's not published, right? So talking about it is not enough anymore. Pontificating about it is not enough anymore. Theorizing about it is not enough anymore. We've got to create a plan, develop a plan to outline those actionable steps to achieve that goal, and then set realistic timelines. This is key. Set realistic timelines and milestones to track your progress. In order to do that, especially if your goal seems really, really big, like the ones that I have in my head and in my heart, I need help. Sometimes I need other people to help me with my timelines because I can slow down. I can be that person that I talked about in the beginning. I can, procrastinate. I can binge watch. It doesn't matter if it's an educational show. If you're spending hours and hours looking at TV, maybe you should replace those hours one day and focus on your purpose. What about integrating purpose into your daily life? Even when I'm not working on my married to my purpose platform, I have my notes up in my phone. I'm texting myself notes I'm doing voice recorders for possible things that I could write about in my book. I am always turned on all the time to my purpose in some form or fashion. How do you do that? How do you integrate purpose into your everyday life? Do you have a notebook that you carry around? Do you have the electronic notepad, which I really want one of those? I'm going to get one. I think I'm going to treat myself to that, to keep all of my notes and you can transfer them to your computer. What about you? How do you integrate purpose into your daily life? Then what about embracing adaptability? This is key. Many of us quit because it doesn't go the way that we thought it was going to go when we originally thought about it. The purpose may evolve, but the foundation of your purpose should not change. I think about a good friend of mine who started an entertainment company. I'm sure he is evolving as he goes along when he's building this company. He's adding dynamics to it. Same message, multiple platforms. A good coach taught me that. We should have the same message with multiple platforms and embracing that adaptability, understanding that things can change, things can be modified, they can be massaged a little bit based off of where we want to go. So we have to make sure that we are embracing adaptability and making sure that change is being seen as an opportunity for growth and not something that's negative. What about building resilience? Cultivating the ability to bounce back and framing those obstacles as opportunities. Frame your obstacles as opportunities, folks. There is nothing worse than feeling like you failed and you didn't learn a lesson from it. Make sure you are framing those obstacles as opportunities. Not only that, anticipate the challenges. Challenges are going to happen. In other words, life happens. And if we don't think life is going to happen, as my granny used to say, just keep living. Just keep living. We have to understand that life will happen. We can't quit though. We've got to remain teachable. We don't know everything. I don't know everything about being an author. I'm a best-selling author, but I don't know everything about it. I don't know everything about being a keynote speaker, but I'm a keynote speaker and I do pretty good. I don't know everything about coaching. Yes, I have a doctorate degree in strategic leadership and leadership coaching, but I don't know everything about it. All of these platforms change, they evolve. People are entering the space in that particular market, whatever your purpose is centered around, every day. There's always someone better than us. But watch this, no one can do what you do like you do because no one else has your experience. No one else has your background. No one has the family that you were raised in, the circumstances to which you have endured. No one has that but you. Only you can carry that. So remain teachable. Finding your village and your tribe. This one is key. And I want to focus here because oftentimes we think we can. I don't know if you all went through this when you were in grade school or even college, where you had to pick your team. You were playing dodgeball. I did. I didn't even like to play sports, but anyway, just go with me. We play dodgeball, and you get two captains, and they get to pick their team, 10 on this side and 10 on that side. Finding your village and your tribe. Guess what, though? Even in that picking of teammates for dodgeball, there were some people that we had to select that we knew nothing about. And once we selected those folks to be on our team, they were the best pick that we could have ever chosen. Sometimes we end up having people on our team and our tribe and our village that we did not assume would be a fit, but they were the best fit. So remain adaptable to people that may come into your life, in your tribe, that you may not have expected. Evaluate and adjust what you're doing. Don't be so stovepiped into what you're doing that you don't give yourself the opportunity to massage, adapt, adjust, make changes to along the way with what you're doing with your purpose. Since I have launched Being Married to My Purpose, I have had to adapt and adjust many things. This will develop out based off of the demand of the people, but also the foundational purpose to which it was originally formed. So I have to be adaptable to that. It's a lifelong commitment, folks. Just like in a regular marriage, being married to your purpose is a lifelong commitment. We cannot underestimate that this is just a one and done. It's not. For me, speaking for self, this is not just a platform. This is a lifelong commitment for me. Understanding that I cannot veer away from what God has created me to be. Yes, I've mentioned God a few times. He is my foundation. I am a Christian. I'm a non-discriminating Christian, but I'm a Christian. And so for me, making sure that this is my life's passion, this is my life's journey, and I'm going to continue to build and cultivate that is very important to me. Very, very important. So understand, as you are going through this journey of becoming married to your purpose, understand those foundational things. Make sure love and romance of your purpose is in place. We've already talked about being married to ourselves, married to the purpose that has been placed inside of us. We've got to love ourselves first before we love anyone else, including your purpose. So understand that as you continue to move, as you continue to navigate, as you continue to learn, to read, to pick up magazines that may be focused on marriage, continue to read books, articles on purpose. I've spoken to so many different people as I'm closing out today. I've spoken to so many different people over the last couple of months who really do not know their purpose. I'm not talking about my 16-year-old daughter. I'm not talking about my almost 21-year-old son that's a junior in college. I'm talking about adults who have lived lives. They've been in 30, 40-year marriages, and they still don't know their purpose. The only purpose that they know is that they had children, and by law, they're obligated to take care of them. What they know is that they're married in a union with someone that they've been married to for years, however many years, 10, 20, 30 years. And by law and in matrimony, according to the judge or the pastor, they were duly married. These are things that we look at in our lives and we feel, this is my life's purpose. Your life's purpose is not just to be married. Your life's purpose is not just to be a mother or a parent. Your life's purpose is not even to build a platform. How is your life making a difference? How is your life making an impact? And we'll focus on that when we come into our next episode. But I want to thank you tonight for taking a listen to all of the things that we've spoken about in being married to your purpose. From setting those areas of resilience to making sure we understand that this is a lifelong commitment. Stay on the path. Continue to learn about yourself. Let yourself make mistakes. Allow yourself to bounce back. Give yourself grace. So as we continue to move through 2024, learning about how we can be married to our purpose, I want you to take some time to self-reflect and learn something about yourself that you did not know. Do something new so that you can allow those gifts to blossom. Folks, I will see you next time. I look forward to talking to you as we continue to build out being married to your purpose. Bye-bye now. I'll see you soon.